Alright guys, your boy Mo Fadetastic. What's up guys? It's my boy Gabe. I'm about to show you guys, I'm gonna do a mid skin fade on him my way, but I want you to make it your way. Check it out. So what I'm gonna do is, what's really bothering me right now is his mustache. So I'm gonna just go ahead and knock that down real quick. I'm doing with that with the one close with the grain to knock down his mustache, clean it up, keeping it dark, and there we go. Let's move on to the hair part. I'm gonna start with the 2 guard and I'm going to debulk the sides. A lot of this bulkiness that he has, so I can start creating my base layer from the top up, so then I can fade from down into that top section. So what we're gonna do is we're going to debulk all this with the 2. I wanna create a nice section so that I can start fading into the top. What I'm gonna do is here, I'm gonna fade into the top first, and then we're gonna fade into the top after we fade up into the top first. What I'm doing here, I'm flicking out into the top section to start creating that fade and gradual effect into the top. So I'm coming off the side of the head and not cutting into it, but I'm cutting off of it to create that fade effect into it, you see? So I can do this, I can do clipper over comb, I can do whatever I choose to do just to make it on the easier end. All I'm doing, I'm just trying to see if I can start creating my fade section by flicking my wrist out and actually taking a lot of that bulk out the way. So now I could just really start my bottom fade into that section I just created. Now I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna start the bottom fade by creating my first initial guideline. As you guys notice here, I'm not using a trimmer, I'm using the clipper closed to start my guideline so I can get a smooth transition into that fading technique when you guys see right here. So what I do is I started with a 2, now I'm gonna start creating my bottom guideline, then I'll work my way up into that top section, guys. As you can see, I'm using my chair to my disposal. I'm staying in one spot, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open my clipper. I'm going to start creating my fade section. I'm gonna go about an inch up, give myself an inch of a guideline so I can start creating my sections. So what I'm gonna do is, this is clipper open, no guard, and I am also flicking the wrist so I can start creating my fade effect. So I don't create any hard lines, and I start to create that fade effect into that top section. So now I'm gonna close the clipper all the way. I'm gonna go one notch open, and I'm going to get rid of that bottom guideline. So as you guys can see, bro, I'll create a section, get rid of the line. Create a section, get rid of the line. So as you can see, I'm working my way up. I open it up a little bit just to work my way up into the top. I close it again, and I'm back down again. Now I'll open it again, just so I can start creating my section into the top. So I'm starting to fade up into that top line, you see? Without creating another guideline, guys.
So right here, again, I close it all the way. I'm gonna open it 1 notch, I'll open it 1 more notch, listen 1 more, working my way up to that line that I just created with the no guard open. So I'll go 1 more notch and I'll start working my way up. That's how I get rid of that line, guard. 1 notch at a time, try and not get feared another that line. I'm gonna close it all the way. I'm gonna keep working my way, the same technique to work into that top section. And again, there's so many different ways that you can do this, guys. You can create a guideline by using your scissors first, doing the top first. For me, I feel like it's a lot more efficient just to start my dry fading first, and then I'll go in and I'll wet the hair and I'll finish it up and I'll connect the 2 into each other. That's me with the knowledge that I have, is to leave enough hair in this section to be able to do that with a smooth transition without ruining the integrity of the fades or ruining what I want to do moving forward. So I'm setting myself up. Phenomenally the half guard, and I'm going to do half guard open. So I'll do half guard open, and now I want to start flicking this line away. I want to flick this line, there you see. So I'm going to go ahead, using the motion, kind of that big going onto that line and not creating another hard section. See, fading into that top section by doing this motion right here. So you see it right here, just so you can see, I'm gonna come up and I'm literally coming off of the head, but also flicking the wrist. I keep it the half open, it's not really doing much. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the 1 open. But I'll do the 1 open just to get rid of a little bit more bulk. I'm gonna get rid of a little bit more bulk by using the 1 open right here. You see, and it's still gonna create my fade. Now you can start seeing the fade effect into that top section, because I know the 1 open is gonna cut smoothly into that darkest section of the 2 that we created at the beginning. And then I'm gonna close it all the way, and I'm gonna hit that bottom line. So I create a section, get rid of the line. So in the deck, what you see me doing here, I'm getting rid of this line, and I'm gonna always come back and I'll clean it up with the half guard once all this bulk and fading out of it. And now you start seeing the fade effect, as you can see here. So now we're gonna do the same thing over here. Now I'm gonna show you guys, instead of going straight to that half open, I'm gonna just go straight into the 1 open and show you how it just seamlessly starts to get rid of that bulkiness, but also fade at the same exact time. As you can see, I'm coming in hard at the beginning onto that line, but then as I come up, I'm flicking my wrist, and I'm coming off of that fade to start creating that fade effect. So I'm gonna do that whole day, all the way around,
getting rid of a lot of this bulk, just so I can get myself ready for that half guard coming in. To get rid of that bottom line, I'll come in with my half guard. I'm gonna do halfway, half guard, halfway. And I'm gonna check to see what it does, and it does exactly what I needed to do. It's starting to get rid of that bottom line. But I'm also, remember guys, I'm flicking my wrist. I'm flicking my wrist into that line. I'm not doing a hard guideline, I'm just flicking the wrist away, fading into that top fade that I've already created for myself. So you guys, I already set it up so I could just come in and flick the wrist and start fading it out. Now I'm gonna go all the way open. I'm gonna work my way up into the top section again. Work my way open, start working into that top section, as you see here, look. And then now you start seeing this seamlessly fade come together, because now I'm using all the steps. I did the one open initially before I did the half, and now I'm using the half to finish it off. Same thing, I start halfway, I'm gonna open it up all the way, close it back up as I work my way down. Now I close it all the way, now I hit that bottom line, you see? That bottom line, so I'm gonna do one notch open, hit that bottom line, see if it does anything, and it does. So that means I'm in the right spot. Now I'm gonna slowly work my way open into that top section. Now I opened it all the way, and now I'm gonna work my way up into that top section. So I'm gonna keep it kinda high. I'm gonna come in, create that C cup that he wants, and then this is perfect because now with this little bit of gradients that I need to do, I'll just come in and I'll do that after. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the trimmer first, and then what I'll do is I'm gonna come and I'm gonna try to get rid of this shadow by just using the back end of that trimmer and just corner cut into that and fade it out, just like this, as you can see here. Now it's gonna make it a lot easier when I come in with the clipper to finish it all off and do my detail work. Same here, go ahead, same thing all the way around. This is the bottom fade. This is what I call my bottom fade. So I'm gonna do the same thing over here. I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna debulk that, get rid of that bulkiness. I know I'm gonna have a line here, so I'll just come in and I'll kind of just fade it out with the back of the trimmer, just like that, so it could have a softer touch to it. And then I'm gonna go ahead, do the C cup while I'm already here and already have the trimmer in my hand. So I'll go ahead, do the C cup, come in, and now I'm gonna debulk the rest, guys. Boom. Finish off my bottom section. I don't have to worry about the bottom section anymore. Once I'm done with this bottom debulking, and also come in with the clipper to close it all out. Guys, if you do not have a compressor at the shop, I highly recommend this bad boy right here. It's on Amazon, 80 bucks, and you can get this. It's super, super strong. As you can see right here, and look, I'm gonna show you on the hair. Guys, it literally works as a compressor. It's so good. Check it out, Amazon. What I'm gonna do is for the beard, I'm gonna trim it out a little bit with the grain, so we can start creating that fade effect. So I can just fade right into it. Go ahead and give him the lineup as well while we're here. And again, guys, he's trying to keep his beard as thick as possible, so we're gonna keep it kind of low. Now we're gonna go ahead with the one first. We're gonna debulk this area. I'm gonna go in open, kind of flake my way into that beard a little bit, just a little bit, guys. You don't need to do too much, because then if you start creating a line, it's gonna give you issues to take it out. So what you do is you just kind of slowly work your way into that, and you just kind of flake it out a little bit. Since this side's a little darker, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna try to give him that same lightness that he has on that other side to try to match it. So I'm gonna fade it out with the two first. So I'll come in, and now look, now it looks just as light as the other side. What we're gonna do is we're gonna come in with the one, we're gonna close it out. Now we're gonna come in with the one open, and now we're gonna just flake our way into that two section, just like we did on the top of the hair. Same thing going into the beard, but it's backwards. So now we're just working our way down. And I'm gonna open it all the way. I'm going to kind of corner cut into this top section, just to give it a little bit more gradients than it already has. And then I'm gonna wait to finish it off until I hit him with that razor so I can see the difference in the sharpness there. When it comes to a full beard, what you're essentially doing is you are cleaning off the neck. Unless they don't want a jawline beard, what you wanna do is you wanna clean the neck off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in, and all I'm really doing is just cleaning off his neck, making sure his neck is clean. And that's gonna essentially be my lineup section, you see? So that would be the lineup, that would be my guide. And then all I gotta do is just make sure it's straight and make sure it's cleaned up. All his neck area, we just gotta clean it up. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna line up his mustache real quick. So what I do for the mustache, I just go right above the lips, make sure it's clean right above the lips, and boom, it's done. With him as well, we're just gonna keep it real natural. So we're gonna come in, and then we're just gonna come trim up the top of the lip, just a little bit, just angle it out. Now I'm going to wet the top of the hair, and now I'm gonna start creating that connection between the fade and the top. We're gonna make it a beautiful relationship between the bottom of the fade and the top of the hair. And now I'm going to start that transition. I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna use clipper over comb, and poof. Saw that? Come on, man. Stop playing with y'all boy, man. Y'all already know Mo Fadetastic on the fast stuff, man. But look, guys, this is what helps me get that fast transition into the top in that bottom section. So I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna comb it out. I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna do that clean, smooth transition into that top section. Whoop. Check that out, guys. Look at that. Same thing right here. Clipper over comb. And again, guys, People create their sectioning, their bases, they create their bases, they create their guidelines, they create everything. You can do it all in different ways. I could have used my fingers and did scissors work. I could have came over and I could have used scissor over clipper. I could have used clipper over comb. It does not matter. Whatever you feel more comfortable, whatever you're more comfortable with and what works for you, that's what I say do best. I've noticed that what I can do is I can just take the bulk and use clipper over comb, which is a lot more quicker, a lot more efficient, a lot more easier for me. That's why for me it works, and that's what I'm showing you right here, guys. I'm gonna blend all this out, guys, right here. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna just do the back as well. So what I'm doing is here, I'm angling my comb to be able to give me that angle on that fade and literally go off of his head, because if you notice, guys, this is where I want my fade to stop. You know why? Because his occipital bone in the back of his head, this is where it stops. The moment I start to cut into this, it's gonna start creating that round shape and it's gonna start going into the top of his head. I don't want that. What I want is, I want the fade to stop here and connect here, because that's where it would look more appealing to the eye. Same here, so I'm gonna come off of that occipital bone. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just fade it out, guys, right here. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go with that 1.5 guard closed, and I'm gonna start finishing off that fade connected into that top section. See, so we have the shape that we were looking for, we have the connection that we were looking for. So now I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna play with the 1.5 guard, I'm gonna open it up, start working my way into that top section, and work my way down into the fade by closing it up little by little to start getting rid of that bulkiness and that line that you guys see right here. And then you guys are gonna get that fully smooth transitioning into that top fade. So now I'm connecting the bottom fade into that top fade with this 1.5 guard open and creating that transition into that fade. Just like that, guys. Just like you see here, guys. Little by little, it's gonna start coming together. This used to all be bulky. This was all bulkiness, this was all stuff. I know we started with the 2, and now I'm gonna finish off with the 2, guys. Finish this fade off, making sure I don't leave any loose ends, guys. Any loose ends, right here. Just finalizing it, making sure that everything is truly a 2 and truly cut down into that darkness that we want. And start to get rid of all his baby hairs. Work my way down into that line. I'm gonna come up, give him a nice and natural edge up on the sides by just using the razor. Same thing on this side, I'm gonna start from up here, work my way down into that line, work my way down into that line. Damn, Gabe, look at this look, bro. My boy Gabe, a dark beard. So when I hit the card, so I can bounce off the card, go into the hair, just like that on a light, very light. I'm gonna start blending the sides into that side guideline that we created. And now I'm gonna cut that hang off, make sure it doesn't have any hang first. I'm gonna come up, I'm gonna angle cut it. So now, you see, guys, right there, that was just me connecting the sides into the top. So now I'm gonna bring everything from the top to the sides to start creating that connection. And we'll come in, we'll just do some minor details and kind of start fading into that top section, see? And I'm gonna come up, and now I'm going to trim the ends of that top section connecting into that bottom of that fade, just like this. So we can continue to have that round shape and that slick back look that he's looking for, just like that. Now I'm gonna go ahead, we'll bring it all the way up, and now I'm gonna start giving him that square shape up top, coming into that top bottom, that bottom section. And again, I'm not trying to trim too much off the top, because that's what he wants. He wants that longer hair. So that's why all I'm doing, I'm just cutting the ends, making sure that it all connects and flows smoothly. Now, guys, I'm gonna put 245 clay. So I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna put that clay into his hair. All right, yeah, there you go. There you have it. It's a medium skin fade with a pompadour, slick back. There you go.